So here we have the Honda Jazz 1.3 SE on a 67 plate. I'm going to start off by showing you around the outside of the car, and then we'll hop in and run through some controls on the inside. But from the outside you can see that it's a 5-door car with alloy wheels. Let's start off inside the boot and then work our way around the rest of the car from there. As we approach the back of the car, you'll see we have reversing sensors as well as plenty of boot space. These rear seats will divide 60-40. They fold over and then they fold again to give you a huge amount of boot space. I think it's well worth seeing the way in which these seats fold. You can see that as you fold the rear, the base will fold down as well, which means if you give that seat a push, you're left with a flat boot all the way through. Okay, so we're just going to work our way back round to the front of the car, and then we'll hop in and run through some controls on the inside. But now that we've done a full circle of the car, you can see that it's in lovely condition the whole way round. Just briefly before we climb in, I think it's well worth seeing the interior from this exterior point of view. These seats are as good as new. There's plenty to run through on the dashboard, so let's hop in and we'll do that right now. Okay, so now that we're inside the car, we're going to start with the dials. On the left-hand side, we have the rev counter, we have the speedometer in the middle, and then on the far right-hand side, you can see the total miles for this car are only 3,423. If we back out to the steering wheel, on the right-hand side, we've got cruise control and speed limiter. The buttons down here will enable us to go through the trip computer information on the main screen. And then over on the left hand side we have stereo controls as well as phone controls. We have, as you can see just there, that button is the voice activation for the phone. So if you hit that button and ask it to dial anyone in your contacts list, it will do that for you without you having to take your phone from your bag or pocket. That is of course once you paired the phone, and that is done on the touch screen stereo over in the center here. So you'd hit the phone and then follow the instructions on screen from there. You can go back to main menu by hitting the menu button just here. So in fact we'll put no there for the moment so we can go back to the main menu. Here we go. And then there's different ways in which you can listen to your music in this car as well. As you can see, a lot of them. So you've got FM, long wave, medium wave and DAB digital radio, a CD player, USB input. In fact there's two USB inputs, one for an iPod and one for a USB device. You can connect up your phone via Bluetooth audio, and there's an HDMI input as well, so loads of ways to listen to your music. Working our way down from there, we've got the air conditioning. So fan speed is adjustable in the middle, temperature over on this far right hand dial, and then the left hand dial will determine where within the car the air is being distributed as it comes into the car. And that brings me nicely onto this. So if you want the air to come in from the outside, fresh air, to recirculate and go back out again, you'd have the slider over here, or you can recirculate the air that's already in the car. This is a great way to heat the car up quickly or cool it down quickly in the summer, but generally speaking, you'd otherwise have it on this side. We have a rear heated screen. That button will turn the air conditioning on or back off again. And then underneath there, we've got some of these stereo extras that I mentioned previously. So we've got an HDMI input underneath that, USB input, and a 12-volt charging socket. We then have the 6-speed manual gearbox. The button to the right-hand side of the gearbox will turn off this car's stop and start system. So the car's designed to cut out in traffic to save you fuel. You can turn that system off should you wish to, and you'll know whether it's off based on whether the amber symbol appears. So it's off at the moment, and it's on when you don't see that symbol. And then finally, all the way back in the central armrest, we have the second USB input. All that leaves me to say is thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you'd like to come and see the car in person and have a test drive, please feel free to call any of our MJA sites. We'd love to hear from you soon.